at some point due to health issues like inflammation, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart failure, kidney disease, or certain infections. Proteinuria can be an early hint that your kidneys are under stress, and ignoring it could lead to bigger issues down the road, like kidney failure. The good news is that you can manage proteinuria and protect your kidney health with simple changes in your diet and habits. This video covers 6 science-backed ways to help reduce protein in urine naturally. We'll share exactly what you need to do and how to do it. Stay tuned and learn how to take control and support your kidneys for the long term. Before we dive in, please note, all the information in this video is created by real people, thoroughly fact-checked, unbiased, and reviewed by qualified professionals. 1. Limit protein intake. More protein, fewer carbs has become a popular diet trend promoted by everyone from influencers to gym trainers. It's said to help with weight loss and blood sugar control. High-protein diets are great for weight loss, but consuming too much protein can be risky if you have proteinuria or are at risk of chronic kidney disease, or CKD for short. Simply put, a high-protein diet places additional stress on your kidneys, making them filter more blood than normal. Over time, this added workload can cause protein to leak into the urine and gradually lower kidney function. That's why limiting protein intake is one of the best ways to help stop proteinuria. A low-protein diet can relieve stress on your kidneys by reducing the protein they need to filter. This helps manage proteinuria, cuts down on waste buildup, and even boosts your metabolism. For those dealing with advanced CKD, this approach can help delay the need for treatments like dialysis and kidney transplant. Your protein needs are determined by your weight, urine protein results, stage of kidney disease, whether you have diabetes, and overall nutritional status. A high-protein diet usually offers 1.2 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, which is way more than what's usually recommended. The recommended dietary allowance, or RDA, for protein intake is around 1 gram for every kilogram of a person's ideal body weight, a healthy weight based on your height for those participating in minimal exercise. To calculate your ideal body weight, simply convert your height to meters, square it, and multiply by 22. So if you are 5 feet 10 inches, about 178 centimeters, then your ideal body weight is around 70 kilograms, and your protein needs are around 70 grams a day if you participate in mild exercise. If you don't do any exercise, then you only need 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram. But what if you are dealing with proteinuria, or CKD? Generally speaking, if you don't have CKD but are at higher risk, such as having 1 kidney, diabetes, high blood pressure, or low-level proteinuria, less than 0.3 grams per day of protein in urine, it's best to keep your protein intake under 1 gram per kilogram of body weight per day to protect your kidneys. For those with CKD stages 3 to 5 or having proteinuria, more than 0.3 grams per day, at any stage, aim for about 0.55 to 0.6 grams of protein per kilogram body weight daily. For example, if you weigh 70 kilograms, you would need around 42 grams of protein per day. This is equivalent to about 6 ounces of cooked meat or fish, or 7 large eggs, or 8 ounces of tofu, or 3 cups of cooked legumes. Counting protein in your meals can be tricky, so it's wise to consult a kidney dietitian. They can help you find the right amount of protein that fits your specific needs. Also, note that if you have diabetes along with CKD or proteinuria, it is advisable to consume 0.6 to 0.8 grams of protein per kilograms of body weight each day under careful monitoring. A 2024 study published in the journal Nutrients shows that in people with advanced diabetic kidney disease, following a low-protein diet can reduce proteinuria by 3 times and slow down the decline in kidney function by 5 times. Tips when following a low-protein diet. Here's what to keep in mind when following a low-protein diet. You should get about half of your protein from high-quality sources like eggs, fish, and lean meats. For the rest, plant-based options like tofu, beans, legumes, and nuts are great choices. Avoid processed protein-rich foods like ham, sausages, deli meats, cheeses, and protein bars to keep your protein, phosphorus, and sodium levels in check. If your kidney function is declining, It's better to focus more on plant-based proteins since they create less waste, like urea, compared to animal proteins. If you prefer a vegan low-protein diet, fill your plate with whole or minimally processed foods like fruits, vegetables, cereals, grains, and legumes. It's also advisable to include supplements like essential amino acids or keto acids in your diet to ensure your body gets all the necessary nutrients. A simple guide is to take one tablet for every 8 to 10 kilograms of body weight, ideally with meals for better absorption. Many people worry about losing weight and muscle wasting when they follow a low-protein diet. But the solution could be simpler than you imagine. For those with chronic kidney disease, you can prevent this by consuming 25 to 35 calories per kilogram of body weight daily. A practical tip is to pair your low-protein intake with high-energy foods. Options like pasta, noodles, bread, and some protein-free snacks can give you the energy you need without increasing your protein intake. 2. Eat more antioxidant-rich foods. Studies now show that increasing your intake of antioxidants can help correct proteinuria and protect against kidney damage. Here's how. When your body metabolizes oxygen, it generates unstable molecules called free radicals. These molecules harm cells and tissues by stealing electrons from their molecules. Our body can handle some free radicals, but when there is an excess amount, they can attack kidney cells, causing inflammation and scarring. Over time, this can weaken the kidney's ability to filter blood, leading to protein leaking into the urine. Antioxidants neutralize free radicals, reducing oxidative stress and inflammation, which in turn enhances the kidney's filtering ability. Tips when consuming antioxidants. Now, many foods are advertised for their richness in antioxidants, but few people know how it's actually measured. You can assess the antioxidant strength of foods through their oxygen radical absorbance capacity, or ORAC score. This score tells us how well a food can neutralize free radicals in the body. Generally, fresh plant-based foods score the highest in ORAC units, meaning they are rich in antioxidants. In contrast, highly processed and animal-based foods have much lower scores. You need to get at least 8,000 to 11,000 antioxidant units daily from your food to avoid oxidative damage. To get enough antioxidants, it's generally recommended to eat at least 5 to 7 servings of fruits and vegetables each day. Note that the quality matters just as much as the quantity, and not all fruits and veggies provide the same benefits. For instance, a cup of diced melon contains just 241 antioxidant units, while a cup of sweet cherries packs an impressive 4,873 units. Use these simple tips to choose antioxidant-rich foods that benefit your kidneys. Choose bright-colored fruits and vegetables like berries, grapes, apples, zucchini, and bell peppers, all rich in antioxidants. For example, berries are some of the most antioxidant-rich foods, packed with flavonoids and polyphenol that reduce oxidative stress and inflammation. They can also help lower blood pressure, an important factor in managing proteinuria. Just 1 cup of blueberries gives you 9,019 antioxidant units. Raspberries provide 6,058, and strawberries offer 5,938 units. It's easy to include berries in your diet, add them to smoothies, oatmeal, yogurt, or enjoy them as a snack. Alongside berries, red grapes, apples, and bell peppers are also great choices for people with kidney issues. 1 cup of red grapes contains about 1,902 antioxidant units. A medium gala apple has 5,146 units, and 100 grams of bell peppers provides 710 units. Always eat fruits and vegetables with their skins on, as the skin contains a large share of the antioxidants. For instance, a medium red delicious apple with the skin has 7,781 antioxidant units, but peeling it reduces that to 4,727 units. Plus, try to add herbs like turmeric, parsley, and ginger in your meals. Research shows that they can support stable blood sugar levels, reduce proteinuria, and slow down kidney damage, especially in people dealing with diabetic kidney disease. A single teaspoon, around 3 grams, of ground turmeric provides 4,778 antioxidant units, while 1 teaspoon, or 0.5 grams, of dried parsley has 3,717 units, and 1 teaspoon, or 1.8 grams, ground ginger offers 518 units. Choose fresh fruits and veggies over canned ones, and avoid highly processed foods like juices, jams, and jellies, as they often lose their antioxidant content during processing and contain added sugars. Be mindful of your cooking methods. Steaming or lightly sautéing vegetables helps retain more antioxidants than boiling them. Overcooking can reduce their nutrient value. Are you enjoying our video so far? If so, please give us some hints by dropping a like, and we'll make more content like this. 3. Limit sodium intake. While sodium is essential for maintaining fluid balance in your body, consuming too much can overwhelm your kidneys. High sodium intake causes your body to retain more water, which raises blood pressure. This added pressure forces the kidneys to work harder, causing them to leak protein into the urine. Over time, the raised blood pressure can damage kidney tissues and speed up the progression of kidney problems. Reducing your sodium intake can significantly improve your health. The U.S. dietary guidelines recommend keeping sodium intake under 2,300 milligrams per day, which is roughly equal to 1 teaspoon or 5 grams of table salt. However, if you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or CKD, it's advisable to aim for no more than 1,500 milligrams per day. For instance, cutting back on 4.2 grams of salt a day can lower your systolic and diastolic blood pressure by nearly 7 and 4 millimeters of mercury, respectively. Moreover, sticking to a low-salt diet can reduce protein levels in the urine by 36% in people with CKD, offering significant kidney protection. A 2018 study in Nutrients Journal reviewed 11 clinical trials involving 738 people with CKD, stages 1 to 4, to compare effects of low versus high salt intake. The findings were clear. Those who followed a low-salt diet saw a 42% reduction in sodium in the urine, alongside a 4.9 millimeters of mercury drop in systolic and a 2.3 millimeters of mercury drop in diastolic blood pressure. Plus, protein leakage in their urine also reduced by 33% compared to people who consumed a high-salt diet. This means that by lowering salt intake, you not only help manage your blood pressure, but also lower the risk of proteinuria, thereby protecting your kidneys from further damage. Now, let's explore some tips to help you reduce your sodium intake. Tips for reducing sodium intake. Start by buying fresh produce often. Many prepared or packaged foods contain added sodium, so cooking from scratch can give you full control over what you eat. Use herbs, spices, and sodium-free seasonings instead of salt to enhance the taste of your meals. Before using canned vegetables, beans, meats, or fish, rinse them with water to wash away some of the salt. Always check the nutrition facts label for sodium content. If it has 20% or more of the daily value, it's considered high in sodium. Look for products labeled as sodium-free, salt-free, low sodium, reduced sodium, unsalted, or lightly salted to help cut down on salt intake. 4. Consider omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acids, or PUFAs. You are likely aware that omega-3 fatty acids support heart health. They reduce inflammation and keep arteries clear of plaque. Recent research has revealed that these healthy fats also serve as an adjunct therapy for managing proteinuria, diabetes, and CKD. Here's how they help. Omega-3 fatty acids help manage inflammation, reduce oxidative stress, and balance blood pressure and fluid levels, all of which are important factors for kidney health. They even assist your kidneys in filtering and reabsorbing proteins, which could reduce protein loss, though more research is needed. The 3 essential types of omega-3 PUFAs your body needs are ALA, EPA, and DHA. Short-chain ALA is found in plant oils like flaxseed and soybean, while fish and seafood are rich in long-chain PUFAs, EPA, and DHA, 2 forms your body uses most efficiently. ALA is classified as an essential fatty acid, meaning your body can't produce it on its own, so you need to get it from a diet. Your body can convert a small amount of ALA into DHA and EPA, But this conversion process is limited. That's why it's vital to get these omega-3s directly from food or supplements. This is the only practical way to ensure you're getting enough omega-3s for optimal health. In 2023, a large study examined data from 19 different research projects across 12 countries. It found that people who ate more seafood-derived omega-3 PUFA, like EPA and DHA, had a lower risk of developing CKD. However, plant-based omega-3 PUFA didn't show the same protective effects. In another study published in 2020 in PLOS One journal, researchers explored how long-chain omega-3 PUFA affects proteinuria in people with type 2 diabetes. Those who took long-chain omega-3 PUFA supplements for at least 24 weeks had significantly lower protein levels in their urine. Tips when consuming omega-3s. Now, how much omega-3 fatty acids do you need to reap these benefits? The adequate intake of omega-3 fatty acids is about 1.1 grams per day for women and 1.6 grams for men. This guideline specifically applies to ALA. Clinical trials have shown that taking 1.3 to 2.5 grams of omega-3s daily may help reduce inflammation, lower triglycerides, and improve kidney health in people with moderate to advanced kidney disease. While there are no specific guidelines for proteinuria, the 2020 KDOQI guidelines recommend 2 grams of omega-3 PUFA daily for people with advanced CKD to lower triglycerides. For those with CKD stage 5 on dialysis, doctors may suggest a daily intake of 1.3 to 4 grams. However, after a kidney transplant, omega-3s aren't usually advised for daily use to prevent rejection or enhance graft survival. You can find ALA in plant oils such as flaxseed, soybean, and canola oil, as well as in chia seeds and walnuts. Just 1 tablespoon of flaxseed oil contains 7.26 grams of ALA, while chia seeds offer 5.06 grams and walnuts provide 2.57 grams per ounce. For those looking for DHA and EPA, cold water fatty fish like salmon, tuna, mackerel, and sardines are great options. For example, 3 ounces of cooked salmon provides 1.24 grams of DHA and 0.59 grams of EPA, while herring offers 0.94 grams of DHA and 0.77 grams of EPA in the same portion. If you prefer supplements, options like fish oil, krill oil, and algae-based oils are readily available. A standard fish oil supplement typically delivers about 1 gram of oil, containing around 180 milligrams of EPA and 120 milligrams of DHA. For those interested in the evidence, the studies supporting our claims are provided in the link in our description box. 5. Balance pH with alkaline foods. Your body works tirelessly to maintain a delicate balance of pH and bicarbonate levels. Ideally, your blood's pH should stay between 7.35 and 7.45. If the pH level goes outside this range, you could face serious problems. Regarding bicarbonate, it works like a buffer, helping to neutralize acids in your body. Port balancing the body pH, kidneys get rid of extra acids and produce and reabsorb bicarbonate. However, if kidney function declines, the kidneys can't reabsorb bicarbonate, making it harder to neutralize acid. This often leads to metabolic acidosis, a condition where the body retains more acid. Now, what's the big deal about too much acid? Acid overload can trigger inflammation and harm the kidney's filtration units, called glomeruli. This damage results in proteinuria, bone loss, muscle wasting, insulin resistance, and even heart problems. Tips for balancing body pH. Now, how can we reduce acid load for better kidney health? Diet plays a vital role. But before discussing dietary tips, it's important to understand potential renal acid load, or PRAL for short, a scoring system that indicates whether foods increase or reduce acidity in the body. Positive PRAL scores indicate acid-forming foods, while negative scores show foods that help reduce acidity. A 2020 study found that for every point increase in PRAL, bicarbonate levels in people with CKD stages 3 and 4 dropped by 0.25 units, meaning more strain is put on the kidneys. Animal products have high positive scores, about 7, while fruits and vegetables typically have negative scores, helping to neutralize acidity. So, the more plant-based foods you eat, the more acid-fighting power you're giving your body. The 2020 KDOQI guidelines also recommend that people with CKD increase their fruit and vegetables intake to help lower acid production. Unfortunately, modern dietary patterns often lean towards animal-based foods, causing the kidneys to excrete way more acid each day. By limiting your diet to just 30% high-quality protein and replacing the rest with alkaline-rich options like fruits and vegetables, you can significantly increase serum bicarbonate levels. Here are some great examples of foods with a negative P-rel: purslane, kale, carrots, eggplant, medjool dates, figs, plums, and avocados. They are delicious options for a natural way to support your acid-base balance. We know it can be a lot to take in with all these food choices. You might be asking, is there a specific diet I should follow? A 2017 study in Nutrients explored the alkalizing potential of various kidney-friendly diets. They compared 4 diets, including a normal protein diet, a low-protein diet, a vegan diet, and a very low-protein diet. They found that lowering protein intake, particularly in vegan and very low-protein diets, greatly decreased net acid production in the body. A vegetarian diet includes 6 to 8 servings of grains, such as bread, pasta, rice, and oats, 4 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables, and 1 mandatory serving of beans. Olive oil is preferred as the main fat source, while foods of animal origin, like meat, poultry, fish, and eggs, are excluded. Vegetarian diets also come with higher amounts of fiber and vitamin K1, both of which help maintain acid-base balance. However, for people with kidney disease, it's important to carefully monitor your potassium levels when following a vegetarian diet. Also, note that in more severe cases, metabolic acidosis, especially for those with CKD stages 3 to 5, diet alone may not be enough. In such situations, the 2020 KDOQI guidelines recommend using bicarbonate supplements or a citric acid or sodium citrate solution. For example, taking 1,625 to 2,925 milligrams of sodium bicarbonate daily in oral form can help manage chronic metabolic acidosis and provide relief. Always consult your doctor to find the best approach for your condition and ensure the treatment is tailored to your health. 6. Control blood sugar and weight gain. At first, it may seem like they're not related, but your blood sugar levels and waistline actually play a big role in your risk of proteinuria. In fact, by simply managing these issues, you can really lower this risk by more than half. So, how does this all work? When your blood sugar spikes, it triggers inflammation, damages your blood vessels, which also raises blood pressure. All of these things together contribute to proteinuria. This is why it's super important to get ahead of these issues early on to prevent proteinuria and protect your kidneys from further damage. The ADVANCE trial followed 11,140 people with type 2 diabetes for 5 years and found impressive results. Those who focused on lowering blood sugar reduced their risk of end-stage kidney disease by 65%. Cases of early kidney damage, also known as microalbuminuria, dropped by 9%, and more severe kidney damage, also known as macroalbuminuria, decreased by 30%. Now, let's shift gears and talk about weight control. Losing weight is one of the most effective ways to reduce proteinuria, especially for those who are obese and have diabetes. Studies show that even modest weight loss can lower proteinuria in just a few weeks. A 2023 study examined 1,054 patients with type 2 diabetes and found that those who lost at least 3% of their body weight saw 83.3% improvement in proteinuria compared to those who gained weight. In fact, for every kilogram they lost, protein levels in urine dropped by 6%. Shedding those extra pounds not only lightens the load on your kidneys, but also helps manage blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and insulin sensitivity. In addition, it helps lower levels of certain hormones that can harm kidney function. This creates a positive domino effect that can slow down kidney damage. Tips for controlling weight and blood sugar. So, how can you get started? Focus on losing 5 to 10% of your body weight, which has long been proven to make a significant difference for your kidneys. Instead of strict calorie counting, try small, sustainable changes. For example, prioritizing whole foods and practicing portion control by listening to your hunger cues can help you create a natural calorie deficit. This makes weight loss easier to maintain without the stress of constant meal tracking. Now, let's talk about food choices. Simple swaps can make a big difference. Start by choosing smaller portions, baking or grilling your food instead of frying, and swapping out sugary drinks for water. These little changes add up over time, and before you know it, you'll feel better and lighter. To keep your blood sugar stable, limit carbohydrates from sugars to less than 10% of your total energy intake. For fats, focus on consuming more polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats found in olive oil, nuts, and fish, while cutting down on saturated fats, trans fats, and cholesterol found in fried foods and processed snacks. Incorporate more fruits, veggies, and whole grains into your diet. When it comes to protein, lean options like chicken, fish, and plant-based sources are great choices. Also, stick with low-fat or skimmed dairy products instead of full-fat versions, but be careful of their sugar content. However, as diabetic kidney disease progresses, certain foods may need to be limited because they contain high levels of potassium and phosphorus. It's a good idea to focus on fruits and vegetables that are low in potassium. Using phosphorus binders as prescribed by your doctor can help too. Try to avoid processed foods that are high in phosphorus and use cooking methods like boiling to help lower potassium and phosphorus in your meals. And don't forget about staying active. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise, like brisk walking on most days. It can be as simple as walking instead of driving short distances, taking the stairs, or doing household chores like gardening. Look for ways to stay active throughout your day, such as walking during your lunch break or parking farther from the store. Things that may trigger proteinuria. Now let's take a moment to explore some everyday factors that could trigger proteinuria. One major player in this game is high blood pressure. Even a slight increase can put unnecessary stress on kidneys. Lifestyle choices also play a vital role. A sedentary lifestyle, smoking, or excessive alcohol consumption can put kidneys at greater risk. While red and processed meats can be delicious, eating too much of them may lead to severe proteinuria and increase your risk of developing diabetic kidney disease. On a similar note, it's best to avoid energy drinks. While they might give you a quick boost, their high caffeine and sugar content can cause dehydration and contribute to kidney damage. Also, be mindful of supplements. While they can be helpful, overusing protein supplements can put a lot of strain on your kidneys. Similarly, taking too many NSAIDs, such as ibuprofen, naproxen, or aspirin, can cause proteinuria and harm kidney health. Infections, such as urinary tract infections, or UTIs for short, fever, and even pregnancy can also cause temporary proteinuria. But here's the good news. Many of these triggers are manageable. By incorporating regular exercise, quitting the smoking and drinking habit, and making thoughtful food choices, you can actively support your kidneys and help prevent proteinuria. Conclusion. In summary, taking care of your kidneys is crucial for preventing conditions like proteinuria. Adopting a holistic approach to kidney health through dietary adjustments, weight management, and lifestyle changes can significantly lower your risk and enhance kidney function. Start by balancing your protein intake with plenty of fruits and vegetables, which help maintain a healthy pH level and reduce acid load. It's also crucial to manage your blood sugar levels and achieve a healthy weight. Remember, even small, manageable changes can lead to significant improvements in kidney health. Moreover, be mindful of your lifestyle choices. Regular exercise, limiting alcohol intake, and being cautious with supplements and medications are vital steps to protect your kidneys. Keep an eye on your blood pressure as well. Even minor increases can impact kidney health. However, it's essential to recognize that no single lifestyle change can single-handedly improve kidney function. Instead, it's the combination of these efforts, tailored to your unique health needs, that will yield the best results. Regular consultations with your healthcare provider can help ensure that your strategies are effective and appropriate for your situation. Now, we want to send a big thank you to all our current subscribers and viewers. Goodbye, proteinuria. 4 fruit seniors must eat, and 4 you should never touch. Does it ever feel like the rules of healthy eating have suddenly turned against you? One day, the very foods you chose for your health, like a daily banana, are suddenly labeled forbidden in a kidney-friendly diet. That frustration is understandable and common, so we have to ask, which healthy fruit are you most worried about right now? Let us know in the comments below. In this video, we're putting these fruits on trial. We will prosecute 4 surprising villains hiding in your kitchen that may damage your kidneys and cause proteinuria or foamy urine, and then we'll call 4 true heroes to the stand. This video is packed with myth-busting information that will challenge what you think you know about kidney-friendly eating. And be sure to watch until the end, because we'll not only unmask the #1 most dangerous fruit on our list, we'll also reveal our most unexpected hero and explain the very paradox that gives it so much power. Just so you know, everything in this video is grounded in peer-reviewed research, completely free from marketing bias or miracle cure claims. We've sifted through the science so you can make smart, informed decisions about your health. 4 fruits that worsen proteinuria. 4. Banana. We begin with a beloved fruit that's unfortunately off-limits for most kidney patients: the banana. A single medium banana contains over 400 milligrams of potassium. For healthy kidneys, this isn't a problem. But when kidney function declines, your ability to remove excess potassium becomes impaired. Instead of being filtered out through urine, potassium can accumulate in your bloodstream, leading to hyperkalemia. This elevated blood potassium can cause dangerous heart rhythm abnormalities, muscle weakness, and in severe cases, cardiac arrest. Moreover, increased potassium can worsen proteinuria by putting additional strain on already damaged kidneys, making protein leakage more severe. These risks make potassium management a critical safety priority, not just a dietary preference. You may have seen claims that bananas are unfairly demonized because absorption is only 50%. But let's think about this clinically. Even with reduced absorption, you're still getting 200 milligrams of potassium from one banana. When you're managing a daily potassium budget of 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams, and even 1,500 milligrams for patients with severe chronic kidney disease, or CKD for short, every choice matters. An important note: always read labels on banana bread, muffins, and smoothie mixes, as these concentrated forms can pack even more potassium than fresh bananas. Your nephrologist's caution isn't based on fear. It's based on the serious consequences of hyperkalemia. Until your individual potassium tolerance is clearly established, kidney specialists typically recommend avoiding high-potassium fruits like bananas, especially for patients with stage 4 to 5 CKD, those with a history of hyperkalemia, or individuals taking medications like ACE inhibitors or potassium-sparing diuretics. 3. Avocado. It's the superstar of modern health culture, the heart of avocado toast and guacamole. But this health icon is a Trojan horse for those with late-stage CKD, smuggling in a staggering payload of up to 975 milligrams of potassium in just one fruit. And herein lies the paradox. For a healthy body, the good fats and fiber are fantastic. But for kidneys that are already compromised, the game completely changes. The priority shifts from "what can I add for benefits" to "what must I avoid to prevent harm?" Because in this new reality, that massive potassium load is no longer an asset. It's a liability that outweighs every benefit. Let's analyze the payload this Trojan horse delivers to your daily potassium budget. Just one small, supposedly harmless quarter slice of avocado spends 244 milligrams. And it comes with a hidden processing fee, another 27 milligrams of phosphorus. Like potassium, phosphorus becomes a concern when kidneys of CKD patients can't filter it effectively. Excess phosphorus pulls calcium from your bones, weakening them while also depositing in blood vessels and contributing to heart disease. For patients already dealing with proteinuria, this mineral imbalance can accelerate kidney decline and increase protein spillage into urine. For a tight budget, that's an expensive price to pay. So the key is to treat avocado not as a food, but as a powerful, flavorful ingredient. The mindset must shift from portion to garnish. Be aware of the guacamole trap, where that distinction is lost. If you must indulge, the guiding principle is one thin slice for flavor, never for filler. Better still, try pureed cauliflower or Greek yogurt as substitutes in recipes. When dining out, specifically request no avocado on salads, sandwiches, and Mexican dishes where it's commonly added. Restaurant guacamole portions are typically much larger than the recommended 1 tablespoon serving, so always ask for it on the side. 2. Orange. It's a symbol of sunshine and vitamin C, a staple of the breakfast table. But is that symbol of vitality hiding a costly flaw? One threat is obvious, but the other is a silent saboteur. The obvious enemy is its high potassium content, which becomes dangerously concentrated in juice. But the silent saboteur is its significant load of oxalates, the compounds that can crystallize in the kidneys to form painful stones. This dangerous combination wages a two-front war on kidneys that are already vulnerable. Both high potassium and oxalate buildup can worsen proteinuria by creating additional oxidative stress on kidney tissues. Let's look at the battlefield data. Front number 1, potassium. A whole orange deploys about 240 milligrams. But a glass of juice is an escalation, launching nearly 500 milligrams. Front number 2, oxalates. On top of that, each orange carries a 29 milligram payload of these stone-forming compounds. For context, the average person consumes 200 to 300 milligrams of oxalates daily without issue. However, kidney stone patients, especially those with calcium oxalate stones, are often advised to limit intake to 100 milligrams per day, with some requiring even stricter limits of 50 milligrams. So, one orange can consume up to 60% of a restricted oxalate budget. The safety principle here is clear. Choose the whole fruit over the juice, and always in strict moderation. For that bright citrusy kick in your cooking, a fantastic trick is to use a little grated lemon or lime zest. This gives you that bright, citrusy aroma with minimal potassium. When recipes call for orange juice, substitute with a mixture of lemon juice and a small amount of apple juice. Be especially vigilant about healthy breakfast drinks and vitamin waters, which often contain concentrated orange juice. 1. Star fruit. We have arrived at our number 1 culprit. It's beautiful, exotic, and shaped like a star. It is also, for anyone with kidney disease, a deadly poison. And unlike our other culprits, this isn't about portion control. This is about complete avoidance. Star fruit attacks the body with a 2-stage toxin system. First, it unleashes a flood of oxalic acid. These compounds can form sharp, microscopic crystals that physically clog and damage your kidney's delicate filters. But it doesn't stop there. It also contains a potent neurotoxin, caramboxin. A struggling kidney cannot remove this poison, allowing it to build up, cross into the brain, and trigger severe neurological damage. Early symptoms include nausea, vomiting, and confusion. This can rapidly progress to seizures, difficulty speaking, and loss of consciousness. In documented cases, patients have experienced persistent hiccups, muscle weakness, and irreversible brain damage. These effects can occur within 2 to 6 hours of eating star fruit. Medical case studies have shown concerning outcomes. In case reviews of kidney patients who ate star fruit, the mortality rate was as high as 30%. Reports show patients' creatinine levels exploding to more than 6 times the normal limit, leading to irreversible damage. Alarmingly, even people with healthy kidneys can suffer acute kidney damage from consuming large amounts of star fruit, creating a dangerous cycle where the fruit impairs the very organs needed to clear its toxins. For patients with existing proteinuria, star fruit consumption can cause rapid deterioration, dramatically increasing protein levels in urine as kidney damage accelerates. The evidence is clear. Star fruit should be completely avoided by kidney patients. There is no safe dose. There is no safe preparation method. This means being vigilant. Always check labels on fruit salads and tropical juices, where star fruit can be an unlisted ingredient. Star fruit may also appear in Asian restaurants and imported fruit mixes without clear labeling. Always ask your server about ingredients in fruit garnishes, smoothies, and exotic cocktails. When traveling to tropical destinations, familiarize yourself with local names: carambola, five-finger fruit, or baliming. Your safety is worth the extra questions. When in doubt, always ask and always refuse. If you're feeling a bit shaken by this information, that's actually a good sign. It means you're ready to move beyond outdated myths and seek out the truth. And here is the good news. The same rigorous science that challenges old beliefs is the very science that illuminates a clear path forward. So now, we leave the myths behind. It's time to introduce you to the tools for healing. 4 truly therapeutic, evidence-backed fruits that give you the power to protect your kidneys and help reduce proteinuria naturally. As we transition to discussing beneficial fruits, we want to emphasize that individual responses can vary greatly. These recommendations represent general principles based on research, but your healthcare provider should always have the final say in your dietary choices. 4 heroes to help reduce proteinuria. 4. Apple. We begin the hero countdown with a classic choice: the apple. Apples, particularly the peel, are rich in quercetin, a powerful flavonoid with potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Research shows quercetin helps protect kidney cells from oxidative stress, DNA damage, and programmed cell death. Studies suggest that quercetin's protective effects may help reduce proteinuria by strengthening the kidney's filtration barriers and preventing protein leakage. Animal studies also demonstrate quercetin's ability to shield your body against various harmful agents, including radiation exposure, lead toxicity, and adenine-induced kidney disease. Apples are naturally low in potassium and oxalate, with a medium apple containing approximately 195 milligrams of potassium and virtually no oxalate. A clinical study confirmed the safety of apple consumption in dialysis patients, showing no significant changes in blood potassium levels after apple intake. Thanks to its low potassium, it's considered a safe haven in a kidney-friendly diet. But this safe haven has a little-known secret. Apples may interact with certain medications. Its natural compounds can block special transporter gates in your gut wall, called oat peas. Think of these gates as the only doorways for certain drugs to enter your bloodstream. When apple juice blocks them, your medication is effectively locked out, unable to reach its target. How serious is this? Documented drug interactions include atenolol, a beta blocker, fexofenadine, an antihistamine, and potentially other medications such as certain statins, thyroxine, and antibiotics. One landmark study showed that apple juice can slash the absorption of the common heart medication atenolol by a staggering 82%. In other words, it can significantly reduce your medication's effectiveness. Fortunately, the solution puts you back in control. Create a 4-hour window between taking your medications and drinking apple juice. This crucial gap in timing ensures your medicine gets a clear path to work properly. Choose organic when possible to reduce pesticide exposure, and consider keeping the peel for extra fiber. Applesauce without added sugar makes an excellent kidney-friendly dessert. Curious about the science behind it all? We've linked the studies that support everything we've shared. You'll find them down in the description box. 3. Pineapple. Next up, we have another excellent low-potassium choice, the pineapple. A common half-cup serving of pineapple provides you with just approximately 100 to 120 milligrams of potassium. Pineapple also contains minimal oxalates, about 2 milligrams per half cup, making it doubly beneficial for patients concerned about kidney stone formation. But this tropical fruit comes with a remarkable hidden engine, a unique enzyme complex called bromelain. And this engine can be a force for healing, or a source of unexpected interactions to consider. On one hand, bromelain is a potent anti-inflammatory working to soothe the chronic inflammation common in kidney disease. This anti-inflammatory action is particularly beneficial for patients with proteinuria, as reducing kidney inflammation can help decrease protein spillage into urine. But bromelain also acts as a potent biological amplifier. So while it works to calm inflammation, it can also enhance the effects of certain medications. For instance, bromelain can enhance the effect of blood thinners, like warfarin, significantly increasing the risk of bleeding. Likewise, research shows it can increase the absorption of antibiotics, like amoxicillin, potentially turning a standard dose into a higher dose. These aren't minor concerns. They require awareness and caution. The lesson here isn't to fear pineapple, but to understand it. Fresh pineapple in moderation is fine for most. Note that the core contains the highest concentration of bromelain. Frozen pineapple chunks work well in smoothies and have similar nutritional benefits. If you choose canned, opt for pineapple packed in its own juice to control the sugar, not heavy syrup, and always discard the liquid to manage potassium. 2. Strawberry. Strawberry's low potassium and oxalate content, about 110 milligrams and 2 milligrams per half-cup serving, respectively, making them a safe and recommended choice for kidney patients. Plus, they are a rich source of anthocyanins and vitamin C, providing potent antioxidant protection in a kidney-friendly package. But what if the true power of this fruit comes not from the berry itself, but from the allies it empowers inside you? We're talking about the trillions of tiny organisms in your gut. You see, strawberries are packed with specific polyphenols, especially L-glutathione and ellagic acid. Think of these as raw materials. When you eat them, you're delivering these materials to a sophisticated biofactory in your gut. The workers in this factory, your intestinal flora, transform them into entirely new supercharged molecules called urolithins. And fascinatingly, the efficiency of this factory is unique to you. It depends on your personal microbiome, or the microbes living in your gut, what scientists call your metabotype. And this isn't just a fascinating theory. It has profound implications for your kidneys. A 2025 review of clinical trials has concluded that a diet rich in these polyphenols can significantly slow the decline of kidney function in at-risk populations. More importantly for proteinuria patients, these compounds may help repair damaged filtration barriers and reduce protein leakage. It confirms that what happens in your gut has a direct protective effect on your kidneys. Now, observational studies show many CKD patients also have gut dysbiosis, which reduces urolithin production from dietary polyphenols. However, regular strawberry consumption may help gradually restore beneficial gut bacteria, potentially improving this conversion over time. So next time you enjoy a handful of fresh strawberries, know that you're doing more than just eating a healthy snack. You're actively cultivating the garden within, empowering the very ecosystem that works to protect your kidneys. Buy organic strawberries when possible, as they're on the dirty dozen list for pesticide residues. Frozen strawberries are nutritionally comparable and often more affordable. Just ensure there's no added sugars. Buy in bulk when in season and freeze portions in ice cube trays for easy smoothie additions. To maximize the gut health benefits, pair strawberries with a small amount of plain Greek yogurt, which provides prebiotics to feed your beneficial bacteria. 1. Sour cherry. And now, we arrive at our number one hero, the cherry. Its potassium content varies by type, with sour cherries considered low potassium and sweet cherries falling into the moderate range. A half-cup serving of sweet cherries contains approximately 160 milligrams potassium, still within safe limits for most kidney patients. Sour cherries are particularly renowned for their high polyphenol and anthocyanin content, delivering potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties that surpass their sweeter counterparts. Plus, for the millions of kidney patients who also battle the excruciating pain of gout, this fruit is a scientifically proven champion. A 2023 randomized controlled trial involving 354 gout patients found that those consuming tart cherry supplements showed significantly greater improvements in kidney function markers compared to control groups after 12 weeks of treatment. Furthermore, a systematic review of cherry consumption for gout prevention discovered that cherry intake was associated with a 35% reduction in the risk of a painful gout attack. This is particularly relevant since elevated uric acid and gout can worsen proteinuria and accelerate kidney disease progression. So what's the source code behind this power? Cherries contain active compounds that act like natural NSAIDs, such as ibuprofen. They work by blocking enzymes called COX, a major source of inflammation. However, the same compounds that reduce inflammation may also affect kidney function in some cases. Medical case reports have documented potential concerns. These reports warn that concentrated cherry products, like juices and extracts, can trigger acute kidney injury in vulnerable patients. Why? Because in a concentrated form, that powerful COX-blocking effect can dramatically reduce blood flow to kidneys that are already struggling, causing them to shut down. So the research suggests caution with concentrated cherry products like juices, supplements, or extracts. Stick exclusively to fresh or frozen whole cherries. Since cherries are seasonal, buy extra when available and freeze them in single-serving portions. A handful of about 10 to 15 cherries is an ideal serving size. Conclusion: as we've seen today, managing proteinuria isn't about taking medication. It's about making informed food choices that either support or sabotage your kidney's ability to heal. The ultimate lesson isn't found in a simple list of good and bad foods. It's found in a new toolkit for thinking about your health. First, we learned that context is king. The cherry and pineapple taught us that a hero in one form can be a villain in another. Next, star fruit taught us that individual vulnerability varies. The same food can be harmless to one person, yet life-threatening to another. Third, we discovered that timing is everything. The apple showed us that when you consume something can be just as important as what you consume. And finally, we discovered that we are an ecosystem. The strawberries showed that you're not just feeding yourself, but nurturing the vast ecosystem within. This is the true power of knowledge. It moves you from simply following rules to making truly informed choices. Remember, this information represents current research and general principles, but individual results may vary. Your personal medical history, current kidney function, other health conditions, and medications all play a role in determining what's best for you. We strongly encourage you to share this information with your healthcare team and work together to create a personalized plan that's safe and effective for your specific situation. Now, we'd love to hear from you. After everything we've uncovered today, which fruit surprised you the most? Was it a hero you never expected or a villain hiding in plain sight? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We look forward to reading your discoveries. We want to thank you for being here, for listening, for having the courage to embark on this journey of discovering what truly benefits your health. A journey that isn't easy but is worth more than anything else. Goodbye, proteinuria. 4 vegetables seniors must eat and 4 you should never touch. If there's one golden rule in nutrition, it's this: eat your greens. Dark, leafy vegetables are considered the very foundation of a healthy diet. But for anyone over 60 managing their kidney health, there's a dangerous flaw in that golden rule. A hidden trap. Take spinach. The very compounds that make it a powerhouse for most can turn it into a silent saboteur inside the delicate filters of your kidneys, potentially worsening proteinuria or foamy urine. That early warning sign that protein is leaking where it shouldn't be. It begs the question, how many other trusted vegetables are hiding a dangerous secret? We want to hear your theory in the comments below. We read every single one, and we believe that your insights help build a community where we all learn from each other's experiences. Now, here's our mission in this video: Together, we will unmask 4 vegetable villains that can harm your kidneys and even cause proteinuria. Then, we will arm you with 4 true kidney guardians. And be sure to watch to the end. Because the #1 enemy is a vegetable recommended in countless heart-healthy diets. And the #1 savior is a humble root that clinical studies are proving can literally shield your kidney cells from harm. Whether you're in the early stages with trace amounts of protein in your urine, or dealing with more significant proteinuria that signals advancing chronic kidney disease, or CKD for short, these strategies can help slow progression. However, those with severe kidney disease or on dialysis should follow more restrictive guidelines from their nephrology team. 4 vegetables that silently worsen proteinuria. 4. Swiss chard. How can one of the most celebrated leafy greens also be one of the most treacherous for your kidneys? The answer is Swiss chard. And it holds our #4 spot for 2 very powerful reasons. The first reason is a microscopic threat: oxalates. Swiss chard is saturated with them. Inside the delicate filters of your kidneys, these compounds can crystallize, forming microscopic shards that cause physical damage and spark inflammation. For someone already dealing with proteinuria, these microscopic oxalate crystals can cause direct tubular damage, accelerating the disease progression. Let's put numbers to these reasons. Just half a cup of cooked Swiss chard delivers 293 to 594 milligrams of oxalate. That's 6 to 12 times higher than the daily target of 50 milligrams that many kidney specialists recommend. But that threat is then amplified by the second reason: an overwhelming flood of potassium. How much is hiding in Swiss chard? A staggering 961 milligrams in a single cup. For someone with proteinuria, that's nearly half their daily potassium budget of 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams a day for those with CKD, consumed in 1 serving. That's also more potassium than 2 large bananas combined. So, can this treacherous vegetable ever be truly tamed? The answer is yes, but it requires a level of caution reserved for experts. The only proven way is a strict ritual of boiling, discarding the water, and keeping the portion size incredibly small. It sounds complicated for daily cooking, doesn't it? But for someone with early-stage kidney disease or proteinuria, the 10 minutes of extra preparation could save you years of more restrictive eating later. Now, Swiss chard isn't alone in this high oxalate, high potassium category. Many leafy greens and vegetables fall into similar risk profiles, but this doesn't mean you should abandon vegetables entirely. Research published in kidney disease journals shows that CKD patients who increase their fruit and vegetable intake experience delayed kidney disease progression. So, the key is choosing your veggies wisely. This careful selection becomes even more critical when you understand the stark reality facing kidney patients. In the United States, the average waiting time for a kidney transplant is about 4 years, and tragically, every year, about 5% of potential recipients die while waiting. Even those fortunate enough to receive transplants face the ongoing threat of graft failure, returning them to dialysis. This transplant shortage creates a desperate global market. And unfortunately, where desperation meets opportunity, serious human rights violations can occur. We believe it's important to address one such violation that has been taking place for over 2 decades: forced organ harvesting in China. While patients in the US wait years for matching organs, Chinese hospitals claim they can find matches within weeks, days, or even hours. This impossibly fast turnaround suggests a large pool of living donors ready for use at any moment.
One hospital in southwest China claimed to have donors seeking matched recipients, and also promised, in case of failure, we will continue to perform transplants until one is successful. In 2006, a chief surgeon of the Organ Transplant Center at a traditional Chinese medicine hospital published a study of 50 patients at his hospital who had each received kidney transplants 2, 3, or 4 times.
The majority of these organ donors are prisoners of conscience, particularly practitioners of Falun Gong, a spiritual practice with a mind-body approach. In 1999, with Falun Gong practitioners exceeding party members in number, the CCP found Falun Gong's emphasis on truthfulness, compassion, and tolerance, and the belief in the divine, a threat to its atheist regime, which maintained power through control and suppressing faith. A nationwide crackdown was launched, with state-controlled media defaming Falun Gong, undermining public support for the practice, and police forces arresting and detaining practitioners illegally. Reports reveal cruel forms of torture in prisons, even sexual abuse, all to force people to give up their faith. One of the most serious accusations, backed by multiple investigations, is that Falun Gong practitioners have been killed for their healthy organs, fueling a massive transplant industry worth around $1 billion per year. This billion-dollar industry represents one of medicine's darkest chapters. We believe it is vital to speak up for those who cannot voice their experiences, and by exposing this issue to a wider audience, this crime will come to an end sooner rather than later. Until that day comes, let's focus on the kidney protection you can control today, starting with our next vegetable villain. 3. Beetroot. Our number 3 villain is a vegetable many consider a titan of health: the beetroot. And make no mistake, the concerns are valid. A single cup of cooked beetroot contains a risky combination of 518 milligrams of potassium and approximately 150 milligrams of oxalates. So why are cardiovascular scientists around the world becoming increasingly obsessed with it? The answer lies in a hidden power source. Beetroot is one of nature's richest sources of dietary nitrates, 250 to 300 milligrams per cup. For comparison, most vegetables contain less than 50 milligrams of nitrates per serving. When you consume beetroot, your body converts those nitrates into a profoundly important molecule, nitric oxide. Think of nitric oxide as your body's own master regulator for blood vessels. It tells them to relax and widen, which directly lowers blood pressure. For your kidneys, this isn't just a minor benefit. Lowering that internal pressure protects their delicate filtering units from constant, damaging force. Multiple meta-analyses have consistently shown beetroot's blood pressure benefits. A 2017 meta-analysis of clinical trials on patients with high blood pressure, published in the Journal of Advances in Nutrition, found that beetroot supplementation lowers systolic blood pressure by 3.55 points. It's a therapeutic-level result. So we have a paradox: a potent medicine inside a hazardous package. The key to unlocking its benefits lies in a non-negotiable, two-step safety protocol. First, boiling it thoroughly for at least 15 minutes and discarding that oxalate-laden water can reduce, but never eliminate, the threat. Second, beetroot juice should remain an absolute no-go zone. A single glass concentrates both the potassium overload and oxalate toxicity. Even with perfect preparation, beetroot should be treated as a high-risk therapeutic food, beneficial only when consumed sparingly and with caution. And hey, if this feels helpful so far, let us know you're out there by tapping that like button. It tells us to keep making content just like this. 2. Potato. As winter settles in and comfort food cravings intensify, there's one beloved staple that appears on nearly every dinner table: the humble potato. Mashed, roasted, or baked, potatoes seem like the perfect warming companion for cold nights. But for someone managing proteinuria, let's examine the numbers that reveal the potato's hidden threat. A single medium-baked potato delivers 926 milligrams of potassium, nearly half the daily safe limit for CKD patients, consumed in one serving. To put this in perspective, that's more potassium than 2 large bananas combined, concentrated into what most people consider a side dish. But the winter danger extends beyond simple potassium overload. That comforting bowl of loaded mashed potatoes? It's likely mixed with high-sodium butter, cream laden with phosphorus, and cheese packed with both minerals your struggling kidneys can't handle. French fries and roasted potatoes, crispy and golden from holiday ovens, concentrate these risks while adding inflammatory oils that further burden your system. Here's what makes potatoes particularly treacherous for proteinuria. Unlike our villainous vegetables, that can be partially detoxified through careful preparation. Potatoes resist most traditional mineral reduction techniques. While soaking and boiling can reduce some potassium content, you're still left with a high-risk dose. The winter months already challenge kidney health through reduced hydration, increased sodium intake from comfort foods, and decreased physical activity. Adding high-potassium potatoes to this mix creates a cumulative burden that can accelerate proteinuria progression during the very season when your body needs the most support. 1. Tomato. And finally, we arrive at our last culprit, and the most common of all, the tomato. The surface-level truth is well known. Its potassium content poses a clear challenge. In its fresh form, it's manageable, about 292 milligrams of potassium in one medium tomato. But in concentrated sauces and pastes, that same amount of tomato nutrition becomes a potassium bomb. A single cup can deliver a payload of over 900 milligrams of potassium, nearly half the daily limit for many people with kidney disease. Additionally, many tomato sauces and pastes are loaded with additive phosphorus, the type your body absorbs nearly 100%, unlike natural phosphorus. But hidden within the tomato lies one significant guardian of cellular health: lycopene. As one of nature's most effective antioxidants, its mission is to neutralize the systemic oxidative stress that is a foundational cause of kidney damage. A 2022 landmark study focusing specifically on over 7,000 CKD patients found that those with the highest blood lycopene levels had 22% lower risk of death compared to those with the lowest levels. This raises a crucial question. Is it wise to completely avoid a food with such profound, life-extending properties? This brings us to a conclusion based not on fear, but on strategy. The solution is clear. Absolutely steer clear of concentrated sauces and pastes that overload your system. However, embracing a few fresh slices of tomato is a calculated decision. It allows you to safely access the remarkable protective benefits of lycopene. Instead of tomato sauce, try roasted red bell pepper puree blended with herbs. Our hero number 3 vegetables that's not only kidney safe, but also provide lycopene. For additional lycopene without risks, small portions of watermelon can be enjoyed occasionally. Hearing all of this can be unsettling. It can feel like the path to kidney health is lined with hidden traps. But our philosophy is simple. We don't give you lists of what to fear, we give you the knowledge of how to win. And with that knowledge, we now turn from the villains to the heroes. Let's go discover the 4 foods that truly protect your kidneys. Remember that proteinuria and kidney health are serious medical conditions that require professional guidance. The strategies we share today, even based on scientific research, are educational and should complement, not replace, your doctor's advice. Seniors, always consult your healthcare provider before making significant dietary changes, especially if you're managing CKD or taking medications. 4 vegetables that fight proteinuria progression. 4. Green beans. A full half-cup serving of green beans carries a mere 90 milligrams of potassium and just 18 milligrams of phosphorus, giving your kidneys a much-needed break. And the oxalate content? A quite low 5 to 10 milligrams per half cup. But this hero does more than simply stand aside. It actively protects. Its rich polyphenols help calm the underlying inflammation of kidney stress, while its fiber, about 2 grams per serving, nourishes your gut microbiome. And a healthy gut is a powerful ally. It acts as a second line of defense, helping to prevent harmful toxins from ever reaching your kidneys. And this protective effect is visible in large-scale human data. A major 2023 study of more than 20,000 rural adults published in Frontiers in Nutrition found a clear inverse link between bean consumption and CKD. The bottom line: those who ate the most beans had a 14 to 16% lower risk of developing CKD. Plus, each extra 50 grams per day serving of beans reduced the prevalence by 5% for proteinuria and 4% for CKD. Bringing this quiet hero into your diet is straightforward. Steaming or light boiling are ideal, preserving its integrity without added fats or salt. And for convenience, if you reach for the canned version, follow one crucial rule. Choose no salt added, then drain and rinse them well. This effortless step washes away a surprising amount of sodium, ensuring your safe choice stays that way. 3. Bell pepper. Moving up our list, we find a hero that adds vibrant color to your plate and a serious dose of therapeutic value: the bell pepper. Its first credential is its impeccable safety record, with a potassium level that's comfortably low. 1 cup of raw bell peppers contains just 190 milligrams of potassium. The oxalate content? Less than 5 milligrams per cup. But its true significance lies in being one of the planet's richest sources of vitamin C. Bell peppers can pack 190 milligrams of vitamin C per cup. That's more than 3 oranges combined and 200% of your daily needs. And for your body's delicate filters, bell peppers launch a brilliant 2-pronged defense. The first is an indirect attack on pressure. Their massive dose of vitamin C helps your body produce more nitric oxide, the molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax. This lowers overall blood pressure, reducing the relentless force battering your kidneys' delicate filters and causing foamy urine. A 2012 meta-analysis concluded that a daily dose of vitamin C supplementation can lower systolic blood pressure by a significant 4.8 points. The second defense is a direct reinforcement. Bell peppers are also packed with flavonoids, which act like a repair crew, working directly on the blood vessels within the kidneys to strengthen their structure and fight inflammation. So, how do you best unlock this protective power? It's refreshingly simple. Since vitamin C degrades with heat, the most effective way to get the full benefit is to enjoy bell peppers raw. And for maximum impact, here's a simple rule: go for red. While all colors are beneficial, the red variety consistently packs the highest concentration of this protective vitamin. 2. Pumpkin. Just in time for Halloween, we have a seasonal hero that proves healthy eating can be both festive and kidney-friendly: pumpkin. This orange superstar earns its place with an impressive safety profile that makes it perfect for those managing proteinuria. Let's examine pumpkin's protective credentials. Half a cup of cooked pumpkin contains just 5 milligrams of oxalates. That's 100 times less than Swiss chard. The potassium content sits at a considerable yet manageable 407 milligrams per half cup for fresh pumpkin, or an even more kidney-friendly 252 milligrams if you choose canned varieties. But pumpkin's true Halloween magic lies in its beta-carotene content, the compound that gives it that vibrant orange glow. This powerful antioxidant converts to vitamin A in your body, providing cellular protection that specifically benefits kidney tissue. Just half a cup of pumpkin delivers over 100% of your daily vitamin A needs, creating a protective shield against the oxidative stress that can worsen proteinuria. The beauty of this seasonal hero is its versatility. Roasted pumpkin can replace higher potassium sweet potatoes in your holiday meals, while sugar-free pumpkin smoothies offer all the fall flavors without the kidney concerns. 1. Cauliflower. Our number 1 hero, cauliflower, is another safe harbor in the kidney protective diet, thanks to its incredibly low potassium levels. 1 cup of cooked cauliflower contains only 176 milligrams of potassium, nearly 6 times less than Swiss chard. The oxalate load? Just 1 to 2 milligrams per cup. But its greatest contribution isn't passive, it's an activator. Cauliflower contains a remarkable compound, sulforaphane, which has the unique ability to flip a master switch for your body's own defense system, a pathway known as NRF2. So what is this master switch? Think of NRF2 as the dormant commander of your body's internal repair crews. When sulforaphane from cauliflower arrives, it awakens this commander. NRF2 then issues orders to hundreds of protective genes, launching a coordinated response. It commands your cells to produce more of their own powerful antioxidants, creating a shield against oxidative stress. At the same time, it signals a stand-down of inflammatory pathways, calming the fires of chronic inflammation. And awakening this internal commander has stunning potential. In a 2024 clinical study, when CKD patients received 400 micrograms of sulforaphane daily for 1 month, they showed significant activation of the NRF2 pathway and improved phosphate, glucose, and triglyceride levels. Meanwhile, the placebo group experienced a worsening cholesterol profile. While large-scale trials on cauliflower are ongoing, we can see the power of this pathway from clinical studies on other NRF2 activators. Because they target the same master switch, these studies give us a glimpse of what's possible. In one 2012 clinical trial on patients with CKD, a compound that activates NRF2 resulted in a significant improvement in kidney function. In patients with stage 3 to 4 chronic kidney disease, it can increase estimated kidney filtration by up to 30%. So, how do we bring this science into the kitchen? Here's a brilliant and delicious strategy. Instead of potassium-heavy mashed potatoes, try creamy mashed cauliflower. When steamed until tender and blended with a bit of garlic-infused olive oil, it becomes a fantastic substitute. This single culinary swap is a perfect example of our philosophy in action. You add a hero that awakens your body's protective systems while simultaneously removing a known villain from your plate. Conclusion. So, we've unmasked the villains and armed ourselves with the heroes. But the most important takeaway isn't a new list of foods, it's a new perspective. It's the understanding that your plate is not a source of fear, but the most powerful tool you have. That you are not just a patient, but the architect of your own well-being. Whether you're dealing with trace proteinuria or more advanced kidney concerns, remember that small dietary victories compound over time. Managing proteinuria is never about perfect individual food choices. It's about creating an overall eating pattern that reduces the inflammatory burden on your kidney filters while providing adequate nutrition. One hero food won't save your kidneys just like one villain won't destroy them. It's the cumulative effect of your daily choices, combined with proper hydration, medication compliance, and blood pressure control, that determines your kidney health trajectory. Your nephrologist can help determine which approaches are safest for your individual situation. And with that in mind, we'd love to hear from you. Which discovery in this video, a surprising villain or an unexpected hero, was your biggest aha moment? Share it with our community in the comments below. We're reading every single one. We want to thank you for being here, for listening, for having the courage to embark on this journey of discovering what truly benefits your health, a journey that isn't easy but is worth more than anything else. Goodbye, proteinuria. 3 bedtime drinks seniors must have, and 4 you should never touch. Every night, millions of people unknowingly sabotage their kidney health with seemingly innocent bedtime drinks. And here's the scientific reality many never learn. Your kidneys operate on 2 completely different shifts. During the day, they are a bustling metropolis, filtering waste at peak capacity. But as the sun sets, that city also needs some rest. Filtration rate decreases by approximately 15 to 20%. It's not a shutdown, but a natural slowdown. During this time, a powerful hormone, vasopressin, orders the entire system to do one thing above all else: conserve water and concentrate urine. While your kidneys never truly rest, this nighttime rhythm represents their most vulnerable period for processing sudden large loads of minerals, toxins, or excess fluids. So, let us know in the comments. Which evening drinks do you think might be disrupting this vital nighttime repair crew? We want to hear your theory in the comments below. We read every single one, and we believe that your insights help build a community where we all learn from each other's experiences. Tonight, we're going to give you the blueprint. We will first expose the 4 common drinks that act like disruptive all-night parties for your kidneys. Then, we'll reveal the 3 hero beverages that are the equivalent of a silent elite repair crew. And you will want to stay for the number 1 hero, because it's not just the most protective. It's the secret ingredient to turning your sleep into the ultimate kidney restoration session. Just so you know, everything in this video is grounded in peer-reviewed research, completely free from marketing bias or miracle cure claims. We've sifted through the science so you can make smart, informed decisions about your health. 4 drinks that worsen proteinuria tonight. 4. Alcohol. That evening glass of wine. It's a ritual celebrated for relaxation, and some studies even whisper that in moderation, it might have heart benefits. But there's a crucial conflict those studies don't account for. The conflict between alcohol and your kidney's night mode. After dark, that same glass of wine doesn't act like a friend. It becomes a saboteur. That single drink launches a 2-front assault against a system that is pleading for rest. Front 1. Dehydration. Alcohol suppresses a key hormone, forcing your kidneys to flush out water, leaving them to process waste in a thicker, more concentrated fluid. Front 2. A surge of blood pressure, hammering against the delicate resting filters of your kidneys and triggering proteinuria. And this isn't speculation. A massive 2023 meta-analysis of nearly 20,000 people published in Hypertension Journal delivered the first blow. The damage to your blood pressure begins with the very first sip, showing a linear association with no threshold effect. But the second blow lands directly on the kidneys. An older landmark Australian study, following more than 6,000 adults for 5 years, found that people who consumed at least 30 grams of alcohol per day, roughly 2 to 3 standard drinks, had a 59% higher risk of developing proteinuria compared with those drinking less than 10 grams per day. Before choosing alcohol, understand that the safest amount for your kidneys is 0. Replace your evening wine ritual with sparkling water infused with fresh berries and a splash of unsweetened cranberry juice for a sophisticated, antioxidant-rich drink that supports rather than stresses your kidneys. However, if you do consume alcohol, these strategies may help reduce but not eliminate the risk. It starts with a crucial piece of knowledge: what 1 standard serving truly is. It's a 5-ounce glass of wine, a 12-ounce beer, or a single 1.5-ounce shot of spirits. The most common trap isn't the type of alcohol, but the generous pour that silently turns 1 serving into 2 or 3. Also, drink 1 glass of water between each alcoholic drink, avoid alcohol within 3 hours of bedtime, and track your actual pour sizes with measuring tools. Remember, these strategies lower risk but cannot make alcohol consumption completely safe for your kidneys. Completely avoiding alcohol is one of the most powerful steps in protecting your kidneys during your most vulnerable hours. 3. Coconut water. Coconut water has been hailed as nature's purest hydrator, a symbol of tropical health. And for many, it is a fantastic choice. But there's a crucial biological context where this elixir's greatest strength, the incredible potassium content, becomes a hidden danger for seniors with kidney disease and proteinuria. As we age, our kidneys naturally lose about 1% of their function each year after age 40. Additionally, many seniors take medications like ACE inhibitors, or ARBs for blood pressure, which can further impair potassium excretion. This creates a perfect storm where even healthy drinks become potential threats during vulnerable nighttime hours when kidney function naturally decreases by 15 to 20%. To put this in perspective, a single 8-ounce glass of coconut water contains approximately 600 milligrams of potassium. For someone with advanced CKD, following a 2,000 milligram daily potassium limit, This represents 30% of their entire day's allowance. Instead of coconut water before bed, you can consider cucumber-infused water, chamomile tea, or diluted cherry juice. These provide flavor and satisfaction without the potassium overload. While healthy kidneys can typically handle potassium loads effectively, damaged kidneys may struggle to excrete excess potassium efficiently. In those with existing kidney disease, a 600 milligram potassium load from coconut water, especially when consumed regularly, can contribute to dangerous potassium accumulation in the blood, known as hyperkalemia. When the limit is breached, the consequences are medical, not hypothetical. Hyperkalemia can disrupt the heart's electrical rhythm, cause profound muscle weakness, and in severe cases, lead to cardiac arrest. Because of this serious risk, for people with stage 3 to 5 CKD, or those on potassium-restricted diets, coconut water's 600 milligram potassium per 8 ounces requires careful consideration and medical guidance. Healthy individuals can typically consume it safely in moderation. 2. Whole dairy milk. It's the picture of wholesomeness, isn't it? A warm glass of milk before bed. A promise of strong bones we've trusted our entire lives. But here's the harsh paradox for anyone with kidney concerns. The very drink celebrated for building you up could be silently wearing your kidneys down. So how can something so universally seen as good be so potentially harmful? The problem lies not in malice, but in its very richness, which becomes a heavy mineral cargo at the worst possible time. Milk delivers a dense payload of high-impact protein, phosphorus, and potassium. A single 8-ounce glass of whole milk can unload over 250 milligrams of phosphorus and nearly 400 milligrams of potassium into your system. For a kidney working at full capacity, this is routine. But for a kidney, in its quiet, restorative night mode, this heavy delivery forces it into stressful overtime, accelerating wear and tear when it should be healing. So where does this leave us, especially if a glass of milk is part of your nightly routine? Fortunately, there is a truly kidney-safe way to enjoy that comforting, creamy drink. The ideal swap is an unsweetened, unfortified plant-based milk, which can somewhat sidestep this mineral burden. Take unsweetened oat milk. It gives you that same creamy experience, but with far less strain on your kidneys. We're talking about 80 milligrams of phosphorus per cup versus 250 milligrams in regular milk, plus lower potassium levels too. A 6-month human study published in Clinical Biochemistry comparing soy versus dairy protein found that whole soy consumption tended to preserve kidney function compared with milk in people with already lowered kidney function. Similar protective results were reported in people with diabetes, the leading cause of chronic kidney disease, or CKD for short. Now, if dairy milk is a non-negotiable for you, try to limit yourself to no more than half a glass, about just 4 ounces per day. Ultimately, this isn't about punishment. It's about consciously partnering with your body's natural rhythm, giving your kidneys the peaceful night they need to repair and serve you well for years to come. Curious about the science behind it all? We've linked the studies that support everything we've shared. You'll find them down in the description box. 1. Commercial sweetened drinks. We now arrive at the #1 nighttime culprit, a category so vast it hides in plain sight: commercially prepared sweetened drinks. This includes everything from sodas to energy drinks to fruit juices. A 2024 comprehensive study from the UK Biobank involving nearly 192,000 participants followed for over 10 years delivered stark findings. Consuming more than 1 serving per day of these drinks increased the risk of developing CKD by 45% compared to non-consumers. And the most deceptive offender in this group might be the one you least suspect: the healthy fruit juice. The primary weapon these drinks use is a massive, fast-acting dose of fructose. When you consume this liquid sugar at night, you're hitting your resting metabolism with a metabolic shockwave. And here's the critical difference that makes fructose uniquely dangerous. Unlike glucose, starch, and other sugars, Fructose is the only carbohydrate that generates uric acid during its metabolism. When you consume fructose, your liver is forced to produce uric acid as a direct byproduct. This isn't harmless waste. It's an active agent of inflammation and damage that directly targets the delicate blood vessels inside your kidneys. It's like pouring fuel on a fire at the exact moment your body is trying to put the embers out. But what about diet drinks? This is where the deception becomes truly dangerous. A landmark case control study published in Epidemiology Journal analyzed 465 patients with newly diagnosed CKD compared to 467 healthy controls. The results were shocking. Drinking 2 or more colas per day more than doubled the risk of CKD. The risk was virtually identical whether people drank regular colas or artificially sweetened colas. Besides sugar, another culprit was phosphoric acid, a chemical additive found in many sugary drinks. This brings us to the single most powerful defensive tool you have. Ignore the healthy-looking images on the front of the bottle. Turn it over and read the ingredients list. That is where the truth lies. If you see high fructose corn syrup, sucrose, or phosphoric acid, you are looking at a known kidney threat. Your safest, simplest, and most powerful alternative is always the same. A simple glass of water, perhaps infused with a slice of lemon or a few berries. It can feel overwhelming, can it? Learning that so many of our comforting evening drinks hide these hidden risks. It's perfectly normal to feel a sense of unease right now. But I want you to reframe that feeling. This isn't fear. This is clarity. You haven't been led into a dark forest. You've just been handed the map that shows you which beverage choices lead to dangerous territory. And that knowledge is not a burden. It is power. And now that we have the map, it's time to assemble your allies. Because the good news is this. For every single nighttime threat we've just exposed, there is a simple, powerful, and healing beverage ready to stand guard. Let's begin building your nightly battle plan. 3 drinks that fight proteinuria naturally. 3. Peppermint tea. Let's begin with an ally that tackles one of the most common obstacles to a restorative night: digestive discomfort. That feeling of bloating or indigestion after dinner can make settling into sleep feel impossible and triggers a cascade of toxins that your kidneys must work overtime to clear. Our first hero, peppermint tea, isn't a direct kidney medication, but a smart, indirect supporter of their nightly work. Its power comes from a natural compound called menthol. Think of it as a gentle, all-is-well signal sent directly to the smooth muscles of your digestive tract. The physical sensation is one of settling and release, as trapped gas is eased, and the tension that causes discomfort dissolves. This allows your body to shift its focus from digestion to deep, restorative repair. Peppermint also contains rosmarinic acid, a powerful antioxidant that directly protects kidney cells from oxidative stress while you sleep. By calming your gut and providing cellular protection, peppermint creates the optimal environment for kidney health. However, this is a conditional hero, and this is where we must be wise. While peppermint tea effectively reduces bloating and gas, it can worsen symptoms for people with gastroesophageal reflux disease, or GERD for short, or heartburn. Also, peppermint tea can reduce the absorption of vital iron from your food. So, how do we use this ally wisely? First, always choose pure, 100% peppermint tea from a reputable brand to avoid unwanted additives. This ensures you're getting a gentle, food-grade dose, not a concentrated extract with unknown potency. Second, and this is non-negotiable, it should be avoided if you have issues with GERD or gallstones. For most people, following these guidelines makes a single cup after your evening meal the perfect way to harness its soothing benefits while sidestepping the risks. To maximize iron absorption from the dinner, wait at least 1 hour after eating before brewing your tea. If you take blood thinners like warfarin, consult your doctor first, as peppermint can amplify medication effects. 2. Pure tart cherry juice. Our next hero is a powerhouse, celebrated for its remarkable dual-action benefits for nighttime recovery. We're talking about unsweetened tart cherry juice. On one hand, studies show it's one of nature's richest sources of melatonin, helping to promote deeper, more restorative sleep. On the other hand, its potent anti-inflammatory compounds have been shown in clinical trials to reduce systemic inflammation. For those dealing with proteinuria, this matters enormously. Inflammation is what transforms minor kidney irritation into persistent protein leakage. But this is where we must be incredibly wise, because its greatest strength is also its greatest risk. The powerful anti-inflammatory effect comes from compounds that act similarly to NSAID pain relievers, like ibuprofen. In a healthy body, this is a benefit. But in a body with compromised kidney function, this same mechanism can dangerously reduce blood flow to the kidneys. The key word here is concentrate. Fresh tart cherries, consumed in moderation, pose significantly less risk due to their much lower concentration of these bioactive compounds. Still, if you have any level of known kidney issues, it is essential that you do not use it without the explicit approval and supervision of your doctor. They are the only ones who can weigh its powerful benefits against your personal health context. True safety lies in that personalized, expert guidance. For those cleared by their physician, start with just 1 to 2 ounces diluted with water, consumed 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. 1. Water and infused water. And so we arrive at our number 1 hero. It's not an exotic herb or a complex supplement. It's the one we so often take for granted. Simple, pure water. A meta-analysis from the journal Open Heart revealed something truly important for seniors with kidney concerns. In the context of protecting kidneys from contrast-induced damage, systematic oral hydration with water was shown to be equally effective as intravenous saline hydration, proving that simple bedtime hydration can be just as powerful as hospital treatments. How is this possible? The scientific secret lies in its ability to perform a precise biochemical intervention. Drinking enough water gently signals your body to suppress a stress hormone called vasopressin. This hormone is known to increase pressure inside the kidney's delicate filters. By simply staying hydrated, you are actively turning down the pressure, giving your kidneys the calm, low-stress environment they need to function optimally overnight. And this isn't just theoretical. A large-scale study of over 4,600 people found striking differences. CKD prevalence was 10.7% among those drinking the least water versus just 5.6% among the highest water intake group. This is nearly a 50% reduction, particularly valuable for seniors managing proteinuria. While this shows association rather than direct causation, it aligns with the biological evidence that proper nighttime hydration is one of the most accessible strategies for supporting kidney health. The general recommendation is 8 to 10 glasses daily for healthy individuals, but those with CKD may need personalized fluid restrictions. A practical approach. Aim for pale yellow urine as an indicator of adequate hydration, but always follow your doctor's specific fluid recommendations. But we know the biggest challenge isn't knowing this, it's doing it. Plain water can feel boring. This is where our final piece of wisdom comes in. Transform the task into a ritual. Infusing your water with slices of lemon, cucumber, or a few berries doesn't just add flavor. It turns hydration into a creative act of self-care. And to address the concern of nighttime urination, the key is timing. Enjoy your last glass 1 to 2 hours before bed. This gives your kidneys time to process it, ensuring you and they get the peaceful, restorative night you both deserve. Conclusion. So we've traveled through the shadows and into the light. We've unmasked the hidden nighttime culprits and armed you with simple, powerful allies. But the ultimate lesson today isn't just a list of what to avoid and what to choose. It's a deeper truth. The evening is a time to partner with your body, not to challenge it. And as we've seen, sometimes the most profound act of healing is simply choosing the gentlest path. Please consult your nephrologist or healthcare provider before adding any of our recommended drinks to your routine, particularly if you have stage 3 to 5 CKD. While we're sharing what research shows about these beverages, everyone's kidney health is unique. If you have CKD, diabetes, heart conditions, or take medications, the general recommendations in this video might not apply to you. Your doctor knows your medical history and can give you personalized guidance that's safe for your specific situation. And now, this path forward is yours. We would be honored to hear from you. Out of the 5 allies we've explored, which one will you invite into your evening routine first? Share your choice in the comments below. Every story is a source of inspiration for this entire community, and we are reading every single one. We want to thank you for being here, for listening, for having the courage to embark on this journey of discovering what truly benefits your health. A journey that isn't easy, but is worth more than anything. 6 science-backed ways to help stop proteinuria and heal your kidneys. Have you ever seen foam in your urine? It's something most people don't think about, but it's likely protein being there, a sign of early kidney disease. Don't fret yet, you're not alone. Up to 33% of people worldwide have protein in their urine, which is proteinuria, at some point due to health issues like inflammation,